check the audio, see if it's.
Is it prison?
Yeah, prison, man.
Prison is always good.
No problems.
No problem. Good. We don't need to worry about the argument.
All right.
Women, you're in the city. That happened. Right up down.
Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to say Kabbalah and love.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Wakadash.
Everyone is leading to the apostles. The elders, great millstone. Titus is truth for Ruel. And peace and mercy unto all the, the elect brothers out there that labor, believers as well. But we're at the end of this thing, as we always say, at the end of this Edomite rulership, pursuing the second Ezra 69. The scripture say what? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. This place has but a few last breaths in it, because pretty soon the World War III comes.
Yeah,
Pretty soon they're gonna bring in that Karagma that's gonna really bring in the end of the society, because the dollar's at its weakest point right now. You got when this comes to mind, you got prices going up and prices going down, because scripture say what their victuals shall be so good cheap. They shall think themselves to be in a good case, and that's what people think. They think that, okay, we'll ride out the storm. We'll ride out the storm until the next time, and then we'll just keep going like that, because America always bounce back. But according to them, right, the scriptures say otherwise.
Too big to fail?
Too big to fail, right?
Huh? America,
The scripture says
like America, this white man thinks that it's too big, for society to fail. Which is no different, though. It's no different than what back when we was in ancient Egypt. Them Egyptians, them Hamites, they thought they were too big to fail. They thought they were never going to go down, but they went down. And so on and so forth, The ancient Babylonian kingdom, the Persians and the Medes, the Grecian Empire, the ancient Roman Empire, which America is the reincarnation of the ancient Roman Empire, These other kingdoms all went down. And America is no different. America is going to go down the hardest out of all these kingdoms. America's going to go down the hardest, out of all these kingdoms before it. So if the white man thinks that he's too big to fail, he better think again, because he's already failing at this point. First of all, he's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. He declared that the Bible was the law of the land. Here it is, he declared that the scriptures was the law of the land, but here it is, he's totally opposite. He does the exact opposite of what the scriptures, of what the law says. Like, case in point, homosexuality. Homosexuality is at an all-time high in this society. And this devil, he gives them licenses or gives them liberty to marry, which is contrary to what the law says. So this Edomite, if he thinks that he could bypass Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, this devil better think again.
Yeah, this Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18. And pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Because like the brother said, this devil thinks it's too big to fail. So pride goes before destruction. But like you said, in the first Egypt,
Feelers zijn geluid
the second
places.
Egypt,
It
the first Egypt, which means house of bondage. The Most High had Pharaoh's heart, in order for him to, have hatred towards Jacob and not let us go. Same thing, like the brother said, is happening in America. So, as you examine these prophecies, then you have to realize who is Esau, who's Jacob. Who is the seed of the wicked, and who is the seed of the righteous, the sons of the power, and where would they fit in prophecy? So we're dealing with prophecy. We're dealing with prophecy, and you say what in Revelation 19:10, the spirit of the Lord, testimony is Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So you got to be dealing with the prophecy. In order to understand this book, this is what makes the book valid, because now you see things that are written in the book. Now the page, the words that are written on the page are popping up to life. That's why the people in the world are going to be judged by what's written in the book. What's written in the scriptures. Whether they hear or forbid. That's why the Lord sent us to tell them, give the warning of me before I destroy this place. Especially to the 12 tribes of Israel. Last week we had these guys, what's the overall message? What's the overall message? Well, it's repentance to Israel. That's the overall message. And destruction to America and the kingdom of Yahweh Shemashah being set up on the earth. And Esau being taken down. Because those are that's what the scripture is dealing with. Those are the times that we're in. So this devil's fixing, getting ready to go down. It says, Malachi chapter 1. And verse 3 says, I'm starting at verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel, but Malachi, I loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains waste. Laid his mountains and heritage waste.
Right, so the Lord said he loved Jacob and hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste, which is America. This place over here is this devil's inheritance. Not just this place, but his blessing was that he shall have the fatness of the earth. By that sword thou shalt live. So pretty much what he did was, when the tribe of Gad, when the northern tribe was already over here, what did he do? He slaughtered the northern tribe with that sword. Mainly, the tribe of Gad, to get this land. He brought that Gatling gun, you know what I'm saying? And all of his diseases, his biological warfare, against the tribe of Gad, to get this land. So this is his inheritance. So the Lord said he's going to lay his inheritance waste by way of thermonuclear destruction. That's how this devil's heritage is going to be waste, by way of thermonuclear fire.
Okay. It says, verse 4, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build in desolate places. Thus saith the Lord.
That's right. His desolate places is here, on this side of the earth, at the rear of the earth, So this is where he built, but this is what the Lord is going to do. Go ahead.
Says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So the Lord said they shall build, but he will throw down. So the Lord is going to throw down all of this. Especially this building right here that they're building up right here. This is going to be thrown down. So that's the spirit. They're building right in front of us here.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Go on.
So here it is. Esau's building this tower, whatever this building is going to be, whatever, or an apartment, whatever. One of these condos that Esau's building up.
It's pretty tall.
Yeah. You know, but the Lord said he's going to throw this place down. He's going to throw this shit down.
So it doesn't matter how much y'all build, you know. When y'all go to the cleft of the rock, the Lord said, "I'll pull you down." Though you reach up into heaven, that's what my hand, you know. This should my hand pull them down, or though you dig into hell, meaning the earth. So
Right.
you go down there, you build cities, you have like, you know what I'm saying, mining colonies, all kind of shit. Trying to dig for, you know what I'm saying, gold and all these resources, but the Lord said what? He's gonna take all that from you, you know? Because this earth belongs to the children of Israel. You know? Starting with the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American man. All the tribes of Israel, man. This world belongs to us. This devil, he was only giving it to us because we fell from our first estate. You know, we fell from the good graces of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So, you know, this devil thinks he did this all his own. You know, he became the ruler of the earth on his own merit, but it was Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. When you read Daniel 4:17, the Lord said he rules in the kingdom of men, and he sets up, you know what I'm saying, whoever he wants to rule.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yeah.
See? So there you go. So this world belongs to us because we're the one that received the blessing. You know, Esau did. You know, Jacob was the one that received the blessing. You know, we, which became 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, we received that blessing. So all what comes with that blessing is we are to inherit the whole earth, you know, and everything in it, you know, and not just the whole earth, but the whole entire universe, you know, because the Lord said, our Lord Yahweh Shai said, in my Father's house are many mansions, you know.
If it was not thus, I would not tell you so.
So there's other planets out there that we're also going to inherit too as well, outside the galaxy, you know. And this devil, he's already seeing it, but he, you know. So the Most High is already teasing this devil already, because he sees these other planets that are 10 times bigger than Earth, which he's not going to inherit. Because, you know, here it is, Esau, he already got the whole earth, you know, he already got control of the whole earth, but he's not happy with that, you know. Esau's not happy with just having the whole earth, you know what I'm saying? Now he wants to take over the whole entire universe. You know, he wants ownership of the whole entire universe. This is why he's constantly finding ways to try to destroy us. You know, the nation of Israel. This is why he's constantly trying to, you know, destroy the constellations out there in the heavens. But he can't do it, you know? Because he wants total control of everything. But the Lord said, you know what I'm saying, he had appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So this devil, he can only go but so far.
Hey, you gotta watch this show called Resident Evil. You remember you had the Resident Evil games?
Oh, yeah.
But then they put out movies, and they put out a show on Netflix, man. That's a bad show right there. They show you that the people end up becoming zombies and all kind of shit. But the crazy part is, like, you know what I'm saying, they show you how they release, you know what I'm saying, the so-called virus or whatever. And then they want control over the people, you know, they just start murdering everybody, you know. And it's called predictive programming because they put the truth right in your face, you know. So they'll have you watching certain shows or whatever, and then you might see 666 New World Order, some New World Order propaganda. You know, you'll see like two moms raising a kid, or you might see, you know what I'm saying, a woman empowerment. That's part of the New World Order agenda. You know, I'm not saying that everything you watch is propaganda, but basically it's thrown in there. The truth mixed sprinkled in there with some lies, but you got to chew the meat off the bones, man. But you got to be, when you watch things, you got to watch it with a spiritual eye.
You gotta pick the meat from the bones.
Oh, there's this one movie coming out with Jordan Peele, man. This guy Jordan Peele is directing it. And he's and he got UFOs, so-called UFOs up in it, man. It's all about UFOs. So in all these shows you watch, man, there's always like spiritual things that you pick up, man. The vibration of destruction and like doomsday is on a lot of these movies, man. Because that's the time that we're in. Disaster movies. What do people want to watch? Disaster movies. Why? Because that's the spirit that the Lord got on earth. Apocalyptic movies, man, which means the end. That's the time we're in. Because how you know that we're in the end? Because the Lord said we'll be able to hear of the wars and rumors of wars. Man shall be covetous, lovers of themselves, blasphemers. The word of truth shall be evil spoken of. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's why the people are in the state of mind that they're in. The scripture in Isaiah 16:2 that gross darkness is going to cover these people. That's why they walk around, with that blindfold. And then when they present it with the truth, they got to reject it because it doesn't conform with their normal, their norms, the societal norms. It doesn't conform. So now it's against this world because the scriptures are totally against this world. This world is wicked. First. That's why the Lord's going to purge this place with fire. Let's say this. But the people they believe in pseudoscience over the Most High. This is what the scripture say. What the land will be bearing of faith. These people ain't got a faith. They don't have faith. They was educated to believe in themselves. Believe in they was educated to grow up in the matrix, basically. And the main target of that was G, because the so-called white man, they don't believe in scripture. But tribes, y'all were the main target of this. That's why they took the Bible about the schools, man. Which none of these pastors know what they're talking about any goddamn way. But you see, it used to be like, certain counties you couldn't buy certain stuff on certain days. They used to like have certain, respect for the scripture. Now the scriptures are totally out the window.
Scripture says in Psalms 51 and 16 that he casted the word behind him. So this devil, he casted the word behind him. So pretty much he's a hypocrite. There it is. He says that the Bible is the law of the land, but yet you'll have a man or a person, a man or woman in his court jester systems, or in his courthouses, will have a man or woman swear on the Bible. You swear to see these devils. Yeah. They're living it up. Let them live it up because this is their kingdom. This is their kingdom. So we don't marvel at them, when they wild out, when they come out wilding out like this, because this is their inheritance. This is their kingdom.
Can't be mad at them.
Yeah, can't be mad at them. They're in the kingdom. Let them live their best life.
Even though it does piss you off.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you see a bunch of devils, I be with my lady or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be somewhere in a group of Edomites, they're all mad loud.
Yeah.
They're boisterous, because they know this is their king. You be out there, you be with your homeboys, you see a group of Edomites, and they're always on some asshole shit. Why? Because they understand that this is their kingdom, and if push comes to shove, they're always gonna win. That's right, they're always gonna win in the court system, because according to the so-called Constitution, you're still 3/5 of a human being. How could you expect so-called equality? There's no such thing as so-called equality anyways in the scripture, because not all men were created equal. This is not of men, this is of Yahweh Bashim Hashai, because like we touched on last week with that guy, right? When you go to Genesis, the 10th chapter, You know, the Lord divided the people, the languages. Man. That's why He had the sons of Adam, the sons of men, the sons of the wicked. That's why He always had division. The Lord always dealt with division. He told us not to make covenants with these other nations, and with the daughters, don't marry them, don't make marriages onto them. Just keep them as a concubine. These other nations, don't marry them. Why? Because they're going to turn your heart towards their gods, towards their wicked practices and deeds. Exactly what happened in the nation of Israel. You know, our people started, getting into dealing with the Moabite woman, and now the Moabite woman got you worshiping Buddha. You know, or the Edomite woman got you worshiping some other shit. You know, that's what happens in a society. You know, or in the past too. That's what happens when you're estranged from Yahweh B'Shem Shah. When you separate yourself from your power. Because now you're susceptible to all kind of demons. All right. The test is this: you go. Let's say you go like a week without doing no videos, nothing like that. You start getting weak in the spirit. You know, you go like 1 or 2 weeks, you start getting all weak, man, because you need to be constantly connected to the power. You gotta be praying. You know, that's a powerful tool. You gotta be praying. Yep.
It says you lack praying. All right now. You start lacking in prayer, you know what I'm saying, then that's when you start to get weak in faith. You know? Let alone doing videos too, you know.
Well, yeah, you gotta get into the videos.
Yeah, you gotta continue to push the videos out too. But also the main ingredient is that prayer. If you're lacking that, you know what I'm saying, then that's when you're gonna start to get weak. Because, your spirit, that's your spiritual food right there. You know? Praying, that's your spiritual food.
And that's like, it's like if you go like, let's say you miss two weeks in a row, you're not going to camp. Now you're going to start getting weak.
That's right.
You got to be constantly involved. Just like working out. If you only work out like once a month or something like that, you're not going to see no results, man. You got to be in there consistently, man, to get the results, man. So this is why the Lord said, "Occupy until I come." Because this word, when you're involved in this word, it takes you away from wickedness, and it puts you closer to the Yahweh Shem Shah. It gets you closer to the Lord. You read the word. The Lord said, Psalm 40 and 7. That lo, I come in the volume of the book is written in the book. The Lord comes in the volume of the book, so you read the Lord, you read the word, that's the Lord.
Especially chastisement.
Chastise.
When the Lord chastises you, and you know that the Lord is working with you. You know that the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with you. People take it, the exact opposite. They come to this truth, what I'm saying. The brother may come in this truth, by at least, like the scripture says, when you inhale this truth, what I'm saying, when you take in this truth, what I'm saying, when you start to inhale the word, it's sweet in your mouth. And let's say you start doing the work, what I'm saying. It's sweet at first, but within like the second and a half year or the third year in, you start catching all kind of health. And usually that's when brothers start falling out of the truth. Because they take that, what I'm saying, as, as weakness. They take it as, that the Lord is not working with them. When they start losing things. When life is not as sweet it was, before coming into this thing. So they end up falling out of the truth. Because they're not equipped with this ingredient called faith.
Faith to endure.
Faith to endure. Because you need faith to endure. You need faith to endure in this work, in this truth. Some brothers have it and then most don't,
They got to be built up. That's right. Through faith. Through the Holy Spirit, through the angels.
That's right? You gotta be built for this, you know.
Built for battle.
That's right. And a lot of brothers, they're just not built for this, you know what I mean? That's why they end up falling out. Because they ain't built for it. They don't know how to wield it, you know, properly. They don't know how to wield this word properly, you know. Yeah, what's that Marvel's character that you was talking about? You know, he got the hand with that. The movies and stuff like that. Thanos, yeah. Thanos, yeah. You know, I guess you had somebody that tried to put on that glove and he couldn't wield it properly and it ended up destroying himself.
Yeah, it was Tony Stark.
Yeah, Tony Stark, yeah, exactly. He tried to wear that, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't know how to wield it. It was too powerful for him. He didn't know how to wield it properly. And it ended up destroying him. If you don't know how to wield this truth, you know, the scriptures, you know, this word, if you don't know how to wield it properly, you know what I'm saying, it'll end up destroying you.
Two-edged sword.
Two-edged sword.
Hebrews 4:12.
Done.
This is what the word of the Lord is a two-edged sword.
That's right.
It cuts. The first cut is the deepest, like that song says.
That's right.
And because you know, the word of the Lord is a powerful, mighty tool, and it has to be used by the proper authorities.
That's right.
that's a video.
Done.
You know? And the word of the Lord has to be dealt with by the proper. See, you got a lot of individuals that are not equipped for the scriptures.
That's right.
That are not. You know, that's why, like Bro said, they fall out or they teach bullshit. You know, they teach falsehoods or they try to make money off the truth.
That's right.
With gimmicks and all this shit. Because when you teach the truth the right way, you're not gonna get like the masses of the people to follow you and shit like that.
That's right.
You're not gonna get the women, all the women to come to you.
That's right.
You gotta. When you teach the word, you're barely gonna really get a lot of views like that, unless you're like the Lord chose you to be one of them brothers that gets a lot of views. But most brothers that do the work, they're not getting like, you know, 10,000 views or some, you know, 20, 30,000 views. Or like a YouTube streamer get like 1 million views, like that. That's not heard of, man.
Yeah, or like, you know, let's say like just like 2,000 views, like the minimum of like, let's say the minimum of 1,000, you know, views or something. You know what I'm saying?
Only a few. Yeah, only a few brothers get that.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the Lord is not looking for the masses though. He's only looking for the elect few. For the elect few. You know what I'm saying? The Lord always dealt in a small number, you know what I'm saying? The Lord always dealt in a small number. This is why the scripture says the field is plenty, but the laborers are few. It didn't say the laborers are many, you know what I'm saying? So the Lord is not looking for the masses. He's only looking for an elect. It's only about the elect few, a chosen elect. You know, that's worth more. You know, that chosen elect is worth more than many.
Yeah, the remnant.
The remnant. Why you think gold is so rare? You know what I'm saying? It's so rare because, you know, I forget how you break it down. You know what I'm saying? But like let's say like the Bugattis, you know, they only make 300 of them. Why do you think they only make 300 of them? Because these cars are so rare. It's rare, you know, and it's highly expensive. You know, a Bugatti costs what, like 1.5 million,
Yeah, a little more.
or a little more.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's called scarcity. Yeah, because what's more in abundance is very little in value, but
That's right.
what's very scarce is very rare. That's why it's paid top dollar, you know, for something that's very rare. Because you can't really find it. You can't really find it.
Yeah, like faith. Yeah, faith is very rare. Faith is you know, the top of the line. You know, if your brother has faith, you know, that's a top of the line brother right there in the spirit. You know, because not many people have it. You know, not many people have this gift called faith. You know, this is why people fall out when they come in, if they're not the chosen. Because, because this truth, it comes with a lot of pain. It comes with a lot of, hardship, a lot of tribulation. You know what I mean? And only a few can endure it. This is why the Lord said, walk ye in the straight gate, And the Lord said only few, it'll only be few. Actually, let me get it. Matthew 7.
Yeah, the truth is only for the few. Many are called, few are chosen. Matthew 22. So, Lord, like the brother said, the Lord's not dealing with the masses, but when you read 1 Maccabees 3, what does it say? That it's an easy thing in the Lord, on the side of the Lord, to bring victory to a number of few. Oh, I got it.
Yeah. So this is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. And it reads, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go, and many be there be which go in thereat. You know what I'm saying? So it says many that be that go up there in that, which is that broad gate. So it says many that goes in. But when it comes to that straight gate, this is what the Lord said. But because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. You see, the Lord said few that be that find it. He didn't say many that be that find it. He said few that be that find it. And in order to go to that straight path, that straight and narrow, you gotta have faith. Because you cannot enter that straight gate without faith. Well, you can enter it, but you ain't gonna. You're only gonna go but so far. But the Lord said only few that be that find it, that's able to go through that and now survive that. Only a few, not many.
Few good men.
Yeah, few good men.
Like Jack Nicholson said, he said, you can't handle the truth. When you can't handle the truth, that means you ain't fit to stand in the court, the Lord's court. That's right. There's an iconic scene with Jack Nicholson. He said, you can't handle the truth. It's 1 Maccabees 3:19. It says, for the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of a host, but strength coming from heaven. It said, for the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of a host.
That's right. The victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of hosts. See?
It says, but strength coming from heaven.
The strength coming from heaven. So that strength, that power comes from Yahweh Hashem. That's why if you look at these wars, you know what I'm saying? If you look at these wars, there was only a few men that were sent out to these wars that destroyed a masses of men, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Samson. How many men did Samson kill with a jaw of an ass? Hundreds. And it was just Samson.
David killed, Saul killed thousands, David 10,000s. Tens of thousands. And not to mention that that epic battle with Jonathan. Herodes saw at the time, when he was king, Herodes, he was scared to go up against the Philistines because they were deep, you know what I'm saying?
the Philistines, their army was deep, had masses of men. So, here it is, Saul was afraid to go up to their camp and to fight them. But Jonathan, having faith, Jonathan was like, you know what, fuck this shit. I can't take it. He went up in that camp, he had his arm bearer. They went up in there and slaughtered them Philistines, the bastards. He went up in that camp and slaughtered 20 of them, with just only a few men. And there it is, the Lord caused a great earthquake to erupt. And the Philistines ended up turning on each other and killing each other. Just because Jonathan, he had that faith, he believed. You see, when you have that kind of faith, the Lord will fight for you.
Is that Sirach 4:27?
No.
It says, strive for the truth unto death.
That's right.
And the Lord shall fight for thee.
That's right.
Joshua, he was faithful in the Lord. So he got defended.
That's right.
So, because you got to believe. That's why the Lord was with him. Samson believed in the Lord. He was the Nazarite. Jonathan, David. These were all men of faith. Right. That's why they was protected.
Yeah, Jonathan went up in there and slaughtered all the Philistines, 20 of them.
Yeah.
Both sides seeing that faith, okay, caused that earthquake, and the bastards were turning on each other, killing each other. See, that's how you gotta have that kind of faith like that, because that's the kind of faith that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is looking for. That's the kind of faith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is looking for. He's not looking for no faint-hearted man, that's just faking it. What is it? Fake it till you make it? Well, you can't fake it in this truth. You can't fake it to make it in this truth. You know what I'm saying? You can fake it to make it in the world, but not in this truth. You're only going to get but so far, with that kind of mentality, you know what I'm saying, in this truth. Having that kind of mentality in the truth, You want to have a faith-based mentality in this truth. That's the only way you're going to survive in this truth, by having faith. That kind of faith, Yeah.
So you gotta have faith.
That's right.
Mix with your faith, you gotta mix with your work.
That's right. Faith without works is dead.
Strawberry ice cream in Malibu.
These people are in the spirit of mercy. See, all of them, they're in the spirit of mercy. They have no idea what's coming.
Exactly.
The Lord said,
Here it is, we just had a pandemic. Here it is, we just had a pandemic. But the moment the devil starts opening things back up, these people is back in the spirit of murder. But only this time when this next attack, whatever, what kind of attack happens, it's gonna be there to stay. Like for example, if they was to launch an EMP and everything just gets shut down, these people, they're gonna be in the spirit of mourning. They're gonna be mourning. But only this time it's gonna stay. Because it ain't gonna be no opening back up. Nothing, because everything's gonna be shut down forever. And then when you have that, then that's when you're gonna have crime. You're gonna have lawlessness, because now people are just gonna be doing things at will. Like for example, rape, killing and raping. Robbing, raiding stores. Breaking into people's houses. Trying to get the last bit of resources that they can get. To sustain themselves. these are the times that we're about to enter into real soon. So we really don't marvel how the way these people are acting when they're balling out like this, especially Esau. You know, we don't marvel at that because this is his kingdom.
Yeah, he's on a low level, man.
That's right.
These people are on a low level. They're on a low level, man. Like Magneto said, are you Homo sapiens in your guns? That's right. They're on a low. They're in a carnal vibration. This is why they're under the vibration of the Edomite. All these people. So I'm just looking at the people go by, and they're all like they could be from China or Japan or some fucking where, Indonesia or some fucking where, and they're all got their Edomite spirit in them. You know, they come from these other lands. They all talk like, you know what I'm saying, Esau, high pitch, you know. They're all talking like, you know, they come here and they're drunk with the vibration, with the wine. You know? They're staggering, but not with drink. You know? Because this devil, he's so crafty that he's created a society where, you know, a lot of them believe what your forefathers believe. You know, a generation of Saudi Arabians come here, and then the next generation, they don't even believe in Muslims. They believe that, you know what I'm saying? The kid believes that he's a woman, and the daughter believes that she's a, you know what I'm saying? All kind of weird shit. You know, and then the parents are over here. Esau says, you know, you gotta allow them to do it. You know? So, yeah. But yeah, this is the society that we live in. But not only in America, but all over the world, because the power of the reach of the Edomite is all over the world. So this is why if you even go to, you know what I'm saying, our countries, so-called our country, you know, those places where, you know, we was put in slavery, like South America and all that, Central America, the Caribbean, they're all down with that, with the New World Order agenda. They're all down with it. Well, when the jabs was going forth, who was it? They was sitting there, you know, Trinidad and all them, the Prime Minister, they was all giving the people the jabs, man. Telling people that they gotta do this, they gotta do that, you know. All the governments of Southern America and Central America, they're all compromised, man, by the devil. They're all infiltrated by the CIA, you know, and all these different organizations, the American African organizations. This is why you see what happened in Venezuela. That's right. Venezuela, they put that guy that was CIA plant, that guy, but not Maduro, the other guy, Juan Guaido. And they put that guy right in there, man. They said, this is the president. And the people was like, we don't know this guy. Who the fuck is this guy? Our president is Maduro, man. That's right. You know, and then they try to say Maduro did this, because Maduro is not down with the so-called American regime, man. You know, the Edomite regime, man. So Maduro's like, fuck this, you know. I ain't dealing with y'all. So now they trying to get that man up out of there. You know, I'm surprised they ain't murdered him. But the point is that the Edomites, they control the world affairs. You say Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. We come on the face of the judge thereof. So the whole earth is a political power by the devil. It's wrapped up with the guns, with the drugs, with the oil, with the dollar, with these laws, commercial laws, man. You know, that all these laws are in place so that they can put in that in the Quran. But they're writing things into law already right now. That's right. They got stuff on record already, man. Like they said, the Ken Alfred's plan, you know, Rex 84, you know, Project Blue Beams, all these different, you know what I'm saying, all these different things that already have written into law, man. Where they can come into your house and take your shit. You know? So it's no longer a conspiracy, so-called theory. Now they got so-called chariots, UFOs, you know, chariots of the Most High, the ships appearing all over the place, man. That's right. They're appearing here on the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, down south. That's right.
Not to mention, I just saw a chariot like a week and a half ago. What was the brother's name? Shiraz? What's the brother's name? Shazar, yeah. I was talking to the brother Shazar, you know, we were going over, you know, some things, you know, going over some things. Kazar. Yeah, Kazar, yeah. Yeah, I was talking to the brother Kazar out there in Cali, you know. We were going over some things, you know what I mean? And I looked out the window and I saw a chariot out there, you know?
Yeah.
Out in the distance, you know? So these chariots are definitely apparent, you know? Yeah, the ships. Swing low, sweet chariot.
Coming forth to
Carry me home.
Yeah, I believe Harriet Tubman was probably guided by one of those ships.
Yeah, that's right.
Just like, you know, I'm just speaking as a man. But yeah, the ships did appear. The ships appeared over the plantation, man.
Yeah, that's right. You know, there wasn't no like yeah, had a, like the Apostle of the Bar, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know, how the Apostle of the Bar said. You know, there was no planes back then. You know.
I don't know. I felt like I was going to, but then I was amazing.
I mean, there was no planes back then. So what were they seeing? How you think the 12 tribes, so like, how you think the northern tribe got over here? The northern tribe got over here because of them ships, you know? Yeah. They know what it was going on.
When you look at the history, they say that they followed the stars. But the stars is talking about the ships.
That's right. Just like when we was let out of Atlanta, Egypt, you know? We was let out of Atlanta, Egypt. What was up? How we were guided? We were guided. The nation of Israel were guided by them ships, you know, the chariots. A cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like that video I showed you, you know, like going back last year. Like in the evening, at the night, you have to, you know, that's that pillar of fire right there. That the scriptures is talking about. You know that amber looking color? Yeah. Those are them ships.
So we have to be guided somehow out of Egypt. They had never, you know what I'm saying? We was on our own. How the hell were we supposed to find our way? But the Lord is always with his people, man. Even in slavery, he never forsook us. Because he could have allowed us to be destroyed totally, you know, as a nation. But yet, here it is. Now they say that our numbers are surpassing the Edomite numbers.
Oh yeah.
You know, why? Because look, the Edomites are a bunch of bulls. Case in point.
Did I get this?
Yep.
Exodus chapter 30, chapter 13, verse 21, and it reads, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of fire and a pillar of cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. See? So how did he do that? By the way of the chariots. You know, swing low, sweet chariot. You know what I'm saying? Because all it is, that word cloud in the scriptures, that's a metaphor for the chariots. Because they could appear in a cloud formation. You know?
Yeah, and those are the angels.
That's right.
The Lord said, I'll give my angels charge over thee to watch thee. So, you know, this is why we got to look up to them. The Lord said, look up for your redemption draw nigh.
That's right.
You know, because in a very short space of time, the Lord's going to send those ships again to deliver his elect again.
Oh yeah.
And then it's going to be like that movie, War of the Worlds. Well, that one, but the Independence Day. When Will Smith and them was trying to take down the ships. But you devils not going to be able to take down the ships.
Man, that's all hocus pocus. That's
Fiction.
Hollywood hocus pocus.
Hollyweird, man.
Hollywood. That's like that.
Yeah, because them guys try to say, oh, the ships could be taken down. Or you know what I'm saying, the aliens. by definition of the word, they're not of this planet, but they're not little green. They're the ships of the chariots of the Most High. The ships. We believe that through faith, through the scriptures, and through evidence, man. These are indeed the ships. That's the only explanation. Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "And I turned and lift up my eyes, and behold, a flying robe." The flying robe being the UFO, the ship. It says, he said unto me, "What seest thou?" And I answered, "I see a flying robe, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits." And then he said unto me, "This is the curse that goeth before the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stood up shall be cut off as on this side. According to it, everyone that stood up shall be cut off on that side according to it." Because the Lord is going to allow these ships to come for judgment. The Lord said that this is the curse that goes before the face of the whole earth. And the people, they don't realize that until it's too late, until it's too goddamn late. That's why when Yahweh Shai opens up on this place, man, it's not gonna be any joke, man. It's gonna be nothing to be played with. The day of the Lord is what? Darkness and not light. You know? It's darkness and not light. The scripture say, why do you desire the day of the Lord? For it is darkness and not light. When the sky is covered in ships, when the missiles are dropping, you know, then there's gonna be no excuse. The Lord's gonna laugh at your calamity. Walk over the fear coming because of this wickedness that has been perpetrated on the planet Earth. A number of wickedness. The scripture say he requires that which is past, man. All this wickedness has been done to the tribes. You know? That's why it says what the scripture is going to enter. The scripture say that the chariot is going to enter into the house of the thief, you know, and cut him off asunder. You know? This is the house of the people of America. But who did they steal? The people of Israel. These tribes, the chosen. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, right, on down to Gad, Reuben. You know? Gad, Reuben, Issachar, man. You know, Issachar got a lot of help down there, you know, near the border. The Alamo, all that shit. There was slaves then. Why are you clowns talking about only the Negroes are slaves? Well, what about, you know what I'm saying, Manasseh, man. Manasseh was a slave. You know, they're not so-called, what you call Negroes. But, you know, at a certain time they were.
Hey, the first ships came out of Spain. You know, and what happened? You know, Gad and the rest, and you know, some of the northern tribes, they were being traded too. You know, they were being shipped over there in Spain and over there in these other European countries.
They were called Morenos.
That's right,
Moors.
You know, so it's just not Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that went through it. You know, you also had the northern tribe, you know, went through it too. Gad, you know, Reuben, you know, Manasseh, you know, all these other, you know, they also went through that atrocity too. That's why the scripture says in Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying, I think 51 and I think it's in 51 that, you know, the children of Judah and the children of Israel were oppressed together.
They held them captives, held them fast.
Yeah, and refused to let them go. So for you bug out Israelites that say that, you know, that the northern tribes aren't Israelites, you know what I'm saying? The Spirit of the Lord is not dealing with you. Because who fits that prophecy? Other than the so-called, Latin tribes and the native and Seminole Indian tribes. Who fits that? You mean to tell me, an East Indian fits that, or a Moabite or Chinese or so-called Chinese or Japanese? So who is that talking about? It's talking about the Latin tribes the North American Indians and the Seminole Indians.
Oh, I got it. Jeremiah 50.
All right, come Jeremiah 50.
33 says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together."
That's right. The children of Israel, which represents the northern tribes, the so-called Hispanics and Native and Seminole Indian tribes. And the children of Judah represents, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is the West Indians and the Haitians and the American Negro.
It says, "All that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go."
Yeah, they took us captives and held us fast and refused to let us go. Unto this very day. The so-called white man, the devil, he's refusing to let us go. Because really what's holding his kingdom together is pretty much these people on the sign right here. That's really what's holding this place together right now. Are these people on the sign right here? The nation of Israel. Because we're the ones that's holding this place together. We're the glue, we're that glue that's holding this place together. You know what I'm saying? Without us, look at Jake. You see Jake? Jake just old school. Yeah, you see Jake, he's cruising. You think he's in the kingdom.
Yeah, you listen, I don't know. That sound like the Isley Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Some Isley Brothers.
But like I was saying, these people on the sign right here, we're the only nation that's holding this place together. If you take us out of the equation, this place will fall apart overnight. If you take these people out of the equation, out of America, this place will crumble and fall overnight. Overnight, this place will just shut down. You know what I mean? So this is why this devil doesn't want to let us go, because he knows that if he let us go, you know what I'm saying? He knows his kingdom, that's it for his kingdom. His kingdom is just gonna fall overnight. So we're the people on the sign, we're the people that's holding this place together, that's keeping this place up right now.
Yeah, the one that do the last hire was the first fire. Issachar, they do all the shit jobs, man.
That's right.
Issachar, Zebulon, Reuben, even Simeon and Ephraim, they, to a certain extent, they do like shitty job, like they'll be working like at McDonald's or like, they'll be cleaning the toilet, or,
Yeah,
So like, they'll be doing like but who's in the management positions? The white man.
that's right. So-called white man.
The so-called white man, or they'll be
These other nations.
they the ones that own the company.
That's right.
But you niggas, you know what I'm saying? You get, especially like for instance, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, they usually been here for a longer time or whatever, And then like a West Indian or whatever, or like an East Indian or a goddamn Moabite will come to the hood and set up a damn bodega right there.
That's right.
And then you didn't live there all your life. You didn't really get shit.
Exactly. They're making killing too. They make all kind of money.
You know what makes the most money? The hair industry for the black women.
That's right.
That's the number one industry.
That's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Multi-billion-dollar industry. Hell, you go up into the corner store, the convenience store, the Punjabi store.
That's right.
And the nigga, they got a black woman fragrance on the incense. So like everything's targeted to the tribes.
That's right. 'Cause we're a large number. Especially that curse that the Most High put upon our women with that hair. This is why they know that it's within their spirit to have long hair. But, you know, since our women are being so haughty and proud against us, you know what I'm saying? The Most High stripped them from their glory.
Well, by the way, that's a sin unto you. When you proud and rebellious to your husband, to your Lord, you say it like that. To your Lord, you're being rebellious. That means that you out of order, and now that's a sin.
That's right.
You know, because you're supposed to listen. That's like us being against Yahweh Shai. How can we be against Yahweh Shai?
That's right. Why do you think we're in slavery until this very day? Because we were rebellious to our Lord, to our husband, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. That's why he put this devil over us. You know? And you women likewise are doing the same thing by coming up against us. You know? This is why the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, took your hair away from you. Your crown. You know, he gave you that stinky smell within between your legs. Instead of sweet smell that should be stinky. That's why if you notice, you know, when you try to smash the so-called black woman, you know, you can kind of smell that smell, you know. That's that curse that the Most High put upon our women.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's damn true.
That's how you know the scriptures are real.
That's right.
And it says there that in the very same Isaiah 3, it says what? They make a tinkling with their feet.
That's right.
Wherever they go, yeah, they're always mouthing off. You know, they're always running their mouth. But they're gonna learn the order soon. But you know, everybody's out of order, so you know. But the point is that you know America is coming to an end, so you gotta come out that mentality that you know, for the Lord to have mercy on you. You know, you're a woman, you find out about the truth. You know, you got to come into this thing sincerely and come up under the men. You know, and learn your role, and then you know, take it cheerfully.
Stop jumping all over the place.
Stop jumping all over the place, jumping from man to man,
Yeah, exactly.
camp to camp, or you know, doctrine to doctrine.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? You got to remain faithful to this thing.
That's right.
You know, and then be in order too, because you know, don't be trying to jump over your man. And, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm over you and all this shit.
You're trying to teach the scriptures.
I try to teach the scripture, tell a brother, you know what I'm saying, get all, be on comic board, out of order, taking pictures, trying to entice men.
That's right.
You know, because that's what the women do, entice. You know, especially, you know, our women, they be good looking. You know, they be having brothers all in adultery and shit like that. You know, you got a whole husband, you out there putting yourself on the market. You know, and then, you know what I'm saying, the man is a natural, what do you call it? On the food chain is like what they'll call a predator. You know, he's going to hunt for his meal. That's right. You know, and you're gonna come to find out that the woman is like the meal. You know.
Yeah, when all hell breaks loose.
Because what do? You devour her. When you're digging her out, you're going to war and you're conquering her.
Like you're humbling her.
You're humbling her.
That's why it says in the law, when a man findeth a damsel that is not the son, you know what I'm saying? And he lay hold on her and lie with her. Yeah. What does that mean? When he lay hold on her and lie with her, what does that mean? Huh? Like what? Like literally, like what does that mean? You know, that means you grabbing her, you're laying with her, you're having sex with her. You know, he's taking his rod and he's you know what I'm saying, and he's sticking it in the ignition.
It's stuffing it.
You know.
Hey, if you know anything about knocking boots, you know, especially if you're a woman, you know what I'm saying, it's not like, you know, it's not too loose. You know, if your woman is, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, you know, if she has some walls to her, it's gonna take a little thumping, you know what I'm saying, to get up in there, because it's real tight, you know.
That's right.
So you're hurting her while you put, you know what I'm saying, that's why you're crying and doing all this stuff. You know, this is why, you know, you be finding, you be like, you know what I'm saying, because if it was just like all loose and shit, you wouldn't feel nothing. You know, but that you're basically going to war with the woman. This is why she bleeds when, you know what I'm saying, you take her to jail, because you're penetrating her.
Yeah, that's that blood.
You're humbling her.
Yeah, that's that blood. That's that cover.
And then, you know what I'm saying,
That's that seal.
that's the seal.
That's the seal that's been broken. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than a Pepsi or whatever Cola. You know, once you break that seal open, you can't put that seal back. You can't go back. You know what I'm saying? You can't reseal it. You know, once you break it open, once you break that seal open, you drink from that, you can't seal that back together. You know, once that seal is broken, that's it. You know, just like that woman. You know, once you break that seal, once you break her seal, that's it. That's your woman.
Oh yeah.
But there it is. You know, shit. You know, that's why the scripture says that the foundations of the earth are out of course. You know? That's why everything is out of course right now. Everything is like, you know, all messed up under this devil. Because this devil, he's not ruling by the law, statutes, and commandments. And this is why this devil, he's going to be taken out of power. This is why Yahweh Shai is coming to kick this devil out of power.
Kick his ass.
Yeah, kick his ass.
That's what we're looking forward to. That's the gospel. The good news. Because we're not looking forward to being in America another 10 years. You know, can you imagine that? What the Lord said, hasten the day.
That's right.
So we're supposed to be looking to the day of the Lord. Hopefully it's this year. Hopefully, you know. Yeah, a lot of things got to happen for that to take place. But
if it's not this year, I'm saying we're looking forward to the next year. And if it's not the next year, then it's the year after that, and the year after that, until it's done, until it finally happens. But we know it's right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody, like the brother said, we're gonna hasten in the way. Like the scripture says, hasten in the way.
yeah, because
We don't know in that day and hour. We don't know when the Lord's going to come. You know, in that day and hour, the Lord said, in that day and in that hour, knows no man, but only the Heavenly Father. So only the Heavenly Father knows when He's going to bring this devil down. But the Lord left us clues. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, you know, we follow the clues. We're watching after the prophecy, the signs. You know, so, you know, to keep us in faith, to keep us, you know.
they got to be in tune with the prophecy.
That's right.
Scripture say, be occupied in prophecy. It's Iraq 39. They got to be occupied in the meditation of the prophecies. When you see stuff going on, you go watching whatever you're watching. You know what I'm saying? Watch your daily walk. You're surfing the web. Whatever the case may be, you're looking out for information, man. You know? The scripture say that the spirit is like water, man. The spirit is like water, man, and it's continuing to increase. The spirit is continuing to increase. Oh, Daniel's the 12th chapter, the 4th verse, I believe. It said, "Now men shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased."
That's right.
So the knowledge is being increased. Just look at how far the truth is coming. You know, but at the beginning, you know, nobody really was talking about the RFID thing. You know, the jig. You know, they had a Karakma. You know, now it's common knowledge for most Israelites. But for most people, you know, even the people in the world, they're like, oh yeah,
Even Shaniqua in the hood knows about it.
Yeah.
You know, Shaniqua even knows about, you know, even knows about the Quran.
Yeah, Shaniqua.
So now it's coming. Before, you know, going back 10 years ago, you know, people were looking at us like we were crazy. And they're talking about this information 10 years ago. But now it's common knowledge now. Now it's right in your face. It's smack down in your face right now. Smack down in the middle of your face. You know, this technology is right in your face. That's why it's called knowledge. You know, technology. because it's knowledge. It's technology. That's where it comes from. From that description that the brother just brought out now. That's where it comes from. Because it's knowledge. Because nowadays, you have computers. You can just put in, the computers would mostly do the work for you. There it is. You got technology within your car. GPS. Let's say if you're trying to get to a location, you don't know where to go. You can type it in your GPS. You can type it in your computer within your car, the navigation system, GPS, and it'll direct you to where you need to go. That kind of knowledge, that kind of technology didn't exist back in the 60s or the 70s, 80s.
Hey,
It was valuable. But now, now you have that. Now that technology, you can get that technology installed in your car, or it's already in the car already. You know what I'm saying? And you could use that to get around more easier now, rather than just look at maps and whatever. Read maps. Now you got the computer doing the work for you.
but this all go down to the Internet of Things, connected.
That's right.
Esau wants to create like a whole, like everything is connected. The cars, the phone. Well, you're gonna be part of the internet yourself. Cars, TVs. That's why everything's like a smart this, smart that.
Smart this, smart phones, smart TVs.
They got smart vibrators. They got smart blow-up dolls, all kind of shit. Oh, they got now they got robots that are like come clean your house. They got robots in the military too, man. They call something called Boston Dynamics, man. Look it up, Boston Dynamics. Not too far from here, Cambridge. Them niggas are building like they're building all kind of prototypes, man, for like exoskeletons, shit where they can like give it to the soldier and the soldier put on that battle suit. So it's all kind of shit. But we're not ignorant to his devices. But ultimately, he's trying to prepare the technology to fight with the Lord and the angels.
That's right.
But he's not gonna be able to do it. But because, like we said earlier, because of his pride, he's gonna try to fight with the Lord and the angels. The scripture say they yet durst fight. But he's gonna come to naught because that's written that they're gonna go down. They're gonna go down in a blaze of glory, not in a blaze of glory, but in a blaze of fire. They're gonna go down. Because how can you fight something that defies the laws of gravity? A chariot. With your puny, like I said earlier, they're Magneto symbol. Puny Homo sapiens and your weapons. That's what the Lord's gonna say. Because F-35, what I'm saying? These different little planes, that's nothing. Black Hawk, whatever the hell. What we call the ones that like can't be seen by the radar or whatever. The stealth ones. Them shits is, that's primitive technology. That's caveman technology, man. Here it is, the ships got cloaking technology, man. Where they can jump from this dimension to another dimension. They got laser technology. They got the ability to carry all kind of weapons. This is the Most High's army we're talking about. The Lord's gonna dig in his armory. That's right. The Lord's gonna dig up in his armory. And they're gonna bring out the heavy hitters. Oh, Leviathan, one of the heavy hitters. Oh, in that very same show, the show, the Resident Evil show, they kind of had a creature that was kind of like divided them, but nowhere near as big. But it was like a crocodile-looking creature. But he came out the sea and shit like that. It says Jeremiah 25, 50 and 25 says, the Lord have opened up his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. It says, come up against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouse, and cast her as heaps, destroy her utterly, and then nothing be left of her. Man. And also, the Lord said, bring forth the weapons of indignation, man. You know, the weapons of the Lord's destruction, the weapons of the Lord's anger will bring them forth. So I can slay these people, and I can bring forth the judgment. You know, that's the day of the Lord's wrath, which is the day of Armageddon. You know, which is the scriptures refer to as the Mountain of Truth. You know, World War III. Because when World War III takes place, that means the end of Esau's age. This is why we're looking forward to the World War III. Scripture say 2 worlds have passed and another one coming. The world wars, man. This is the war to end all the wars. After this war, there's going to be no more wars. That's right. Scripture say that the Lord's going to wipe away all tears. That's right. These other nations don't bring their swords and pruning them.
This war is going to be the war to end all wars. World War III is going to be the war to end all wars. After that, there's going to be peace on earth, because the Prince of Peace is coming to bring peace on earth. Just like, during the time of King David, there was 40 years of war with King David, and then when King Solomon took over after King David, there was 40 years of peace, nothing but peace, no war. So when Yahweh Shai, which is King Solomon in the reincarnation, he's going to come and bring that peace again. I was trying, after he puts his foot up the so-called white man's bed, Yahweh Shai is going to bring that peace on earth again. Back during the time when he was King Solomon. So this is why we look forward to a new heaven and a new earth. This is what we look forward to.
The elect, especially if you're part of the nation of Israel, man. So that means that we're going to be delivered. That means that we're going to go into the kingdom. When the destruction comes, that means the end of slavery for our people. That's right. Why the fuck do we want to continue being slavery?
This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 13. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look forward new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. See? Wherein dwelleth righteousness. Over here, this place is not. This is not a righteous place that we're living in. We're living in a wicked cesspool. We're living in a cesspool of wickedness. You know what I'm saying? All abominable things that's going on. We gotta endure. We gotta look at abominations. So we, according to his promise, pursuant to the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 11. Yeah, 2 Peter chapter 11, verse 13, you know. We look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And we have perfect order. Because all we have in this society is nothing but disorder. Disorderly conduct.
And wickedness.
That's what we have in this society. It's nothing but disorder and wickedness.
And the Lord told us in cry loud, spare not, Isaiah 58:1. Cry loud, spare not. Lift up that voice like a trumpet. And show my people Israel their sins, transgression. You know? This is why we always talk about, oh, we're judging, always judging. Because we got to judge this place, man. The Lord said what? Whatever you bind up on earth shall be bound in heaven. So the Lord gave us the mission, the instruction to judge and come down on these people, man.
Because ultimately we are the judge. We're the judge, we're the jury, and we're the executioners at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because with that judgment, we're going to execute people. You know, we're going to be putting people to death. Because they don't want, because the Lord said, right? Well, this is what the Lord said. You know what I'm saying? Because this came out of the Lord's own mouth. The Lord said this. The Lord said, Luke chapter 19, verse 27, but those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring ye hither and slay them before me. So we're going to have a lot of people that's going to reject Yahushua. You know? So for those people that reject Yahushua, what we're going to do is we're going to bring them people. We're going to bring them to Yahushua, and we're going to put them to death right in front of Yahushua. You know, because they don't want Yahushua to be Lord over them. We're going to take them hither, bring them to Yahushua, and slay them before our Lord Yahushua. You know. So ultimately, we're the judge and we're the jury and we're the executioners.
The Lord said, thou art my battle axe, weapons of war.
That's right.
With thee will I break in peace the nation.
All right.
So we're going to do a lot of, Jeremiah 16:16. Lo, I will set for 50, and then I will set for 100. The Lord said his father to be 60 men. But he also said we're hunters, man. When the appointed time comes, we're going to be doing a lot of hunting on these people out there, man. Come on, just hey, some brothers going to be used for that type of character. You know, oh, and these fucking guys, man, like I said last week, these guys teaching about, you know, all this bullshit. Like, we're going out because we're saying that, you know, the Lord's going to use us to judge. Everything got to be love. Well, then, we're going to use balance, man. Everything's done in order and decency and balance. False balance abomination. Proverbs 11. False balance and abomination. So that's how. That's why we're supposed to be judging. According to the scripture. That's why you see a mole. You got to tell them when you look that's wrong, man. You got to repent. You're going to die. If you don't get right, you're going to die. Because the scripture say what? You know, there's no respecter of persons. That's right. We're all supposed to be judged mighty or weak or rich or poor. We're judged by the same law. And the white man's old or young. Old or young. It doesn't matter how old how young you are. He said if you go off according to the scriptures, you're going to be judged for it.
doesn't matter how old or how young you are, or how rich you are, how poor you are. You know what I'm saying? If you go off according to the scriptures, we can judge you. And it's in the law right here. Let's bring out the law.
You got to judge according to the law.
That's right.
Like you commit adultery with another man's wife, you're supposed to be put to death. You're sitting there, that's your brother's woman, and you're all up inside her. That's off.
Yeah.
That's off, man. You know, that's wicked. That's put to death. And even though we're in the grace, we still got to keep the laws.
Yeah.
You know, to our best of our ability.
Yeah. Like, for example, King David. Ultimately, King David wasn't put to death when he committed adultery. You should, according to law, you have to be put to death. When King David committed adultery with Uriah's wife, you know what I'm saying? Had Uriah killed, you know what I'm saying? Both sides judged King David for that. He didn't let that go. He gave a punishment worse than death. You know? He caused his son to turn on him, you know what I'm saying? He was constantly at war with his son, you know? That's a curse. You know, that's a curse. That's the worst thing.
You and your father's supposed to be good.
That's right.
That's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You and your father, y'all help it out.
Let me get the law right here. This is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 16. And it reads, why we say there's no restless. Alright, this is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 16. And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the cause between your brethren and the judge, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is within him. Verse 17, ye shall not respect the person in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is the Most High's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it, and I will command you at that time all things which ye shall do.
If you're not afraid of the face of man.
That's right.
Because a lot of the scripture say what the judges of these people judge for a reward.
That's right.
You know? That's what Jake does. They're afraid of men, what the man gonna say.
So we don't care what position that you're in. You know, it doesn't matter what position you're in within this truth. You know, you could be ahead of a camp, you know, second in command, or a captain. You know what I'm saying? You know, if somebody goes off and you don't check that and they see that, you know, you're gonna be held accountable for it. You know, so it doesn't matter who you are within this truth or what rank you are in this truth. You know, you could be the head of the camp, and if you go off, you know what I'm saying, we could judge you for that. You know, the scripture just said there's no respecter of persons.
So,
You know.
Micah chapter 3 and verse 8, it says, but truly I am full of the power by the Spirit of the Lord and of judgment, and of might to declare unto Jacob his transgression and to Israel his sin. Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equities. They build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for a reward, and the priests thereof for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become an Eden, and the mountains of the house places of the forest. And so it says that the princes of the leaders of our people, the scripture say what they cause in the air. It says the heads thereof judge for a reward. You know? Hey, look at what goes on. And this is like, you know what I'm saying? This is just the truth. Like, look at what goes on in most of these like major, you know what I'm saying, camps and shit like that. Like Eyes for the Kid, IUIC, you know what I'm saying, GOCC and all that. Sakari, you hear about and all these different candidates, respectively, you hear about like adultery going on, embezzlement, you know what I'm saying, or not brothers doing each other dirty. You know what I'm saying? This is just all the camps, man. Hey, but you know what I'm saying? That's the reality of the situation.
It's the truth, you know?
Like, so the Lord is dealing with, you know what I'm saying, the elect, man.
That's right.
The Lord is dealing with his elect. So it said, be not afraid of the face of man.
That's right.
Or what man you don't have to say. They bring out the scriptures. And let the Lord be your the scripture say we shall fall in the hands of the Lord and not in the hands of men.
That's right.
That's why you're supposed to search the scriptures like the Church of Berea.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
that you know what's what. You be able to discern the good from the
There's a lot of brothers that be hush-hush because a certain man is in position or whatever. Or a man is a captain of a camp or whatever. You know, if the man goes off, they want to hush-hush about it. They don't want to speak on it. But, you know, partial. I don't want to be partial in judgment. You want to call a spade at the end of the day.
It says, James chapter 2, it says, verse 1, my brethren, have not the faith of the Lord Yahushua, Hamashiach, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. For if there come unto your assembly a man with gold ring and got goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor man, stand thou over there, or sit under here in my footstool. Basically treat him like shit.
That's right. You treat the poor man like shit. The one that looks good, you want to give respect to, you know, but the poor man doesn't want to, you know, treat him like shit.
A nigga from the, you know what I'm saying? A nigga from the NFL or some shit like that come by, oh my God, he came by. You know, a brother might be all kind of like, a brother might be fucked up. You treat him like he ain't nothing.
Exactly.
You start taking pictures of him and making fun of him.
Yeah, exactly. Your brother could get like, what, 600 views or whatever. 600 views and 600 views or whatever, and you got a brother that may get like 2 or 5 views or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You want to look at the brother that gets like 2 or 5 views, like, you know, the Lord ain't dealing with him, you know. But yet you look at the brother that got like 500 or 600 views, you think the Lord's with him, you know. When that's not the case, you know? Because the clue is. So this is a clue, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the Most High is majestic, you know? This is why this is very tricky at times, you know what I mean? You don't know, like that brother that's getting like 4 or 5 views or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That the Spirit of the Lord could be with that brother, other than that brother that may get like 500 or 600 views or whatever. So, you know, most people would gravitate to the brother that's getting all kinds of views and like speaking hella good. And they'll think that the Lord is working with them. And in reality, the Lord might not be dealing with that brother. You know, not to say that the Lord is dealing with him, but, you know, but the reality is, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is always, you know, working with brothers, you know what I'm saying, the low and the weak. You know what I'm saying? So that's a clue. You know, that's a negative clue to really look out for. You know what I'm saying? That's a clue. But you won't really show respect to that brother that may get like, you know, a couple of views, a few views, you know. But that's ultimately a clue.
Yeah, this thing is not a popularity contest. That's right. It's not about, you know, getting all kinds of views and attention. This thing is about doing the work and you keep waking up the election. And being a brother too. Being a brother.
Because on my other page, I had there's a brother that came on my page on my other page or whatever, and he was clowning me. He said, "Oh, you don't got that many views. You don't get no views." You know. But I told him, I was like, I got another page too besides this one. You know what I'm saying? It's not just only this one I have another page too. You know. But you see, that's the thing. You know, they want to, you know, they think that gain is godliness. You know? They think that you don't have not too many views, that the Lord is not with you. The Lord is not dealing with you. But it's the exact opposite. See, that's how tricky this truth is. That's how tricky, you know, this truth is. You know? So this is why you really got to be in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You really got to be in the spirit. Because when you're in the spirit, you can see things. You can see things. You definitely, I've got spiritual eyesight to see right through the bullshit, you know?
Okay, so it says James 2 and 4. Are you then not partial in yourselves and are become judges of evil thoughts? Hear, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? But ye have despised the poor, and not rich men and persons, and draw before the judgment. It said, do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which they are called? When you fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But you do what? Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Quite frankly, a lot of brothers are in violation of that commandment. It says,
you know, quite frankly, a lot of brothers are in violation of that commandment, love thy neighbor as thyself. Because you want to practice in love and loving your neighbor. Because scriptures, if you may get that after that scripture, because the Lord said, how can you love the house by Kimi outside? That's within the heavens, but yet you don't love your brother that's within that's in the earth, that's if you see it, you know? So you can't be partial with your love, you know what I'm saying? Being in the spirit. Now I'm not saying, you know, you may got a brother, now if it's a brother that's going up in the spirit, that's not teaching the correct doctrine, you know what I'm saying, that's going off in the doctrine, and that's being wicked, and that don't want to take reproof, you know what I'm saying, that's a whole different story, you know? But if it's a brother that's doing his work sincerely, you know what I'm saying, that's sticking to the doctrine, the correct doctrine, and he's out there, you know what I'm saying, doing this work diligently and faithfully, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you ought to love that brother, you know? You ought to still show love to that brother, you know?
It says, but if you have respect to persons, you commit sin.
That's right. If you have respect to persons, you commit sin.
This is the law and transgression.
That's right. Read that again.
James 2 and 9. But if you have respect to persons, you commit sin and are convicted of the law as transgression. But if you have respect to persons, you commit sin and are convinced of the law as transgressors.
That's right, and convinced the law as transgressors. So if you have respect to persons, you know what I'm saying, you commit sin. So you're in fact in sin. See, and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dangerous part about it, because you don't even know it.
Yeah, that's sin unto you.
That's sin unto you, and you don't even know it.
James chapter 3. I'm gonna get there on James 3, 14 says, but ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts. Glory not and lie not against the truth.
That's right. Glory not and lie not against the truth.
It says this wisdom descended not from above, but is earthly, sensual, and devilish. It says, for where envy and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
That's right. Where envy and strife is, there's confusion in every evil work. So when you have strife and envy in your heart, you're bringing confusion. And if you don't check that, and if you don't clean that up, you know what I'm saying, what it does, because the scripture says a little leaven into the whole lump. So if you don't purge that leaven out of there, what it does is going to leaven and it's going to, infest within the whole body.
Because verse 17, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy, good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy.
That's right, without partiality, without hypocrisy. So you can't be partial to this thing. You gotta be whole. Way to become whole is using the tools. Because if you're not using the tools, you're not going to get this right. You're not going to get it right. You gotta use the tools in this thing. So you can become whole.
Yeah, this is 1 John chapter 1 and chapter 4 and 20. If a man say I love the Most High and hated his brother, he is a liar.
That's right. If a man saith that he loved the Most High and hated his brother, he's a liar.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
That's right. You know what I'm saying? If he read that again, so like
He said, if a man loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love the Most High God whom he hath not seen?
That's right. So if you don't love a brother that you can see, how can you love Yahweh Shem Yahshai that you don't see? You know what I'm saying? And this is an area where brothers struggle in, because they profess, they claim they love Yahweh Shem Yahshai, but yet they hate their brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they got like all the, they'll have like all the information, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. They'll have the knowledge, but when it comes to applying the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, they don't apply the knowledge.
That's right.
Like you might know like you know what I'm saying, Daniel's the 8th chapter, the breakdown. They remember all the names, the queen of the south, who's the queen of this, who is this person. They might know that, but then when it comes to being a brother, they're lacking on that part. They might know one thing, but then it's gonna say what? If you have all knowledge, prophecy, you have knowledge of this, but you have no charity. That means that you're nothing.
That's right.
That's what the Apostle Paul said. See, the Apostle Paul said, "I'm the Pharisee of the Pharisees," but he was still humble. He was teaching us the congregation how to be judges.
That's right.
Peter too. First Peter 2:17. I said, love the brotherhood, honor the king, and you know what I'm saying, love every man, honor the brotherhood, and love the king, and greet each other with a holy kiss.
That's right.
So what's the point of being looking? What's supposed to be loving the brotherhood?
Yeah, you're supposed to love thy neighbor as thyself, practicing love. Man, who the fuck is this devil chasing? This is like the second time he just rode by it. That noise. Damn. He's still doing this. Yeah, man. It's fucking bullshit. Look at that. We got more of them. second time that cop just rolled by here with all that noise. But yeah, we want to practice in love, loving thy neighbor as thyself. You want to love your brother, you want to cherish your brother. You're not going to get into the kingdom with that hate in your heart. You think you're going to get in the kingdom like that, you better think again and reevaluate yourself and check yourself. Like the scripture says in 2 Corinthians 13, examine thyself whether thou be in the faith, So you got to examine yourself. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, So anyway, with that, we're going to give our praises to those due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahshua, Ba'ashem, Ma'akatah, Allah, to that apostle, the great mercy. So the work of the Yakim, out there in the highways and byways, north and west abroad, all around the world, we're spread upon our Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahshua, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahshua, Ba'ashem, One Yahshua Allah, the Bible of all.